Rise, Meg.
The Force will be with you.
Hello my dear friends and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. In today's video we're going to be talking primarily about the Acolyte. As always my dear Megalorians, before I dive into it, please be sure to hit that big red subscribe button if you have not done so already, and also be sure to give that bell a good old tickle to be alerted each and every time that I post new content to the channel. So without much further ado and without any more jibber jabber, let's just dive straight into it. So as I stated at the beginning, we're going to be speaking about the Acolyte. This is a show I really haven't dedicated enough time to, but that changes today, and we're going to be looking at some news that dropped yesterday. When the show was first announced by Kathleen Kennedy during Disney Investor Day of 2020, something she made clear is that the show would take place during the final years of the High Republic. But now the connection between the High Republic book series and the Acolyte Disney Plus series has been addressed. So let's take a look at this article. At the start of the year, Star Wars launched an interconnected publishing initiative called The High Republic, which focuses on a period of time previously unseen in the franchise. The various books and comics in the initiative depict a time when the Republic was at the height of its power. It was also a time where the Jedi were an unstoppable force of unity, and there was a feeling of peace throughout the galaxy. What started as a print-only series, however, will soon be making its way to Disney+. Disney and Lucasfilm announced in December that one of the new TV shows in development is called The Acolyte, and it's a show written by Leslye Headland, taking place at the very end of the High Republic era. That means that everything we're reading in the books and comics currently being published will ultimately lead towards certain events in the Acolyte TV series. Author Cavan Scott, who is currently writing the ongoing Star Wars High Republic comic for Marvel, spoke to Comic Book Nation to talk about the High Republic in general and whether or not the Acolyte announcement altered their initial plans. So this is what he had to say. No, because I think we predated that because we've been working on this for a good number of years now. So what happened was people were getting excited about the High Republic as we were creating it, which was great to see, and there have been all of these other plans as well, but the great thing that Star Wars is so good at is taking the things been worked over here, the things been worked over here, and let's bring them together. And I mean the High Republic as an era goes on for an awful long time, because you know, it's that period of time before the fall of the Jedi, and so it's been really exciting to sort of see the other threads of Star Wars coming in as they've been developed as well, and see us all working together to get to those final points. But yeah, it's going to be exciting, isn't it? So from this news, it sounds as though the Acolyte will simply slide into existing ideas being established in the High Republic era. While none of the books or comics have addressed how the era ends, it has likely been established amongst the writers involved. Leaving it so open-ended and knowing that the Acolyte is going to be based on the Sith really means that there is the possibility of familiar dark side characters. It is unlikely, but we could get Darth Tenebrous or even Darth Plagueis. And this has been speculation for a long time now, and a lot of fans are convinced we are going to get those. We're also most likely going to get a live-action younger version of Yoda, since he also appears during the High Republic era. Regardless of whether you hate or love the High Republic, this show is truly worth checking out, and I think it's going to be phenomenal. It's the first Star Wars show ever that focuses solely on the dark side. So we're going to be talking about another Acolyte article in a minute, but first of all, let's spend more time just explaining what it is. The official description on the Star Wars website states, Star Wars The Acolyte is a Star Wars television series currently being developed by Leslye Headland. The show will be a mystery thriller that will take the audience into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic. So it's really this sentence that caught the attention of a lot of Star Wars fans to think that we will see Darth Tenebrous and potentially the rise of his apprentice, Darth Plagueis. My worry for this show is that they're going to completely ignore the characters that we know on the dark side who are around at this time. I'm not saying I'm opposed to new characters, I'm really open to that possibility if they write them in the correct way, and they're deep, profound and compelling dark side users who really make an impact on the legacy of the dark side and Star Wars in general. But something which they really could touch upon is the grand plan. So around this time, Darth Tenebrous and his master were working on the grand plan, also known as the Sith Imperative, and it was a plot that was centuries in the making. The plan was a premise formula for eradicating the Jedi, tearing down the Galactic Republic and replacing them with a Sith-ruled galaxy. The possibilities for a Sith-oriented show at this point in the timeline are literally endless, and I just pray that they don't mess this one up. So speaking of the Acolyte, Screen Rant have a good article called 10 Ways It Can Be Like No Other Star Wars Series. The first thing they talk about is the Sith perspective. Again, this is unique to the Acolyte, so they need to do it correctly. Star Wars stories are generally told from the perspective of the light side of the Force. The dark side users, naturally, are always painted as villains. With the Acolytes chronicling the emergence of the Sith in the final days of the High Republic, it can differentiate itself by telling a Star Wars story from the perspective of the dark side. The next one is expanding the High Republic and drawing in fans from all sections of the fandom. Up next, we have the use of martial arts. Since George Lucas was heavily influenced by Akira Kurosawa, Star Wars stories have generally drawn heavily on Kurosawa's samurai masterpieces. The Acolyte has been described as more of a martial arts series, so factoring in Sith characters could be tantalizing. Martial artist Ray Park's portrayal of Darth Maul's sleek animalistic physicality in Episode 1 resulted in one of the most intriguing lightsaber duels in the entirety of Star Wars history. This show needs to mimic this and take it to new places as well. Next up, we have serialized storytelling. With the Acolyte's grand narrative involving dark side powers bringing an end to the High Republic's rule, Headland can shake things up with a kind of serialized storytelling that feels like a big movie cut up into bite-sized pieces. Next, we have female anti-heroes. While plot details are scarce, it's been announced that the Acolyte is a female-led series. While male anti-heroes are a dime a dozen in this universe, the same cannot be said for female anti-heroes. It was hinted throughout the sequels that Rey had dark side tendencies, but this turned out to be a law-breaking result of having Palpatine's genes. The leads of the Acolyte can join Fennec Shand and Cara Dune in Star Wars' growing roster of great female anti-heroes. Next up, as aforementioned, we have Darth Plagueis. After this one, we have the old Sith teachings. The Sith, as it's defined in the existing Star Wars media, is mostly based around Darth Sidious's teachings, since the Skywalker saga is a chronicle of his single-handed efforts to bring the Sith back to power. The Acolytes can be refreshing in showing fans what the Sith were like before Palpatine. At number 3, we have no links to the Skywalkers finally. After the sequels, Star Wars needs to distance itself from the story of the Skywalkers, telling new stories about new characters and focusing on uncharted territories in a galaxy far, far away. Up next, we have a show in which the bad guys win. If the Acolyte is setting up the stage for Palpatine's eventual rise, then it might end with the bad guys actually winning, at least temporarily. And finally, more mature themes. With the head writer of Russian Doll at the helm and a dark premise with juicy thematic potential, The Acolyte is Star Wars' chance to break into the realm of prestige genre TV, one with darker and more mature themes. As I say guys, I'm going to give every single upcoming Star Wars show a chance. I want to stay positive and I'm really looking forward to a show based around the Sith. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you going to watch this when it comes out? What do you think we can expect? Do you think we'll see Darth Tenebrous, Darth Plagueis, or do you think they're going to stay away from all these characters at all costs? I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments down below, and that brings us to the end of this news update. I really hope you enjoyed it guys, and if you did, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit the bell, do all that good stuff down below, and if you're feeling generous, please consider going over to Patreon, where for just $2 or $10 a month you get exclusive access to content that's not found here on YouTube. I'm Star Wars Meg, wishing you all a phenomenal rest of the day, no matter where you dwell in the galaxy. Have a good one.